Okay, my name is Megan, which y'all know that. I am doing an online class for automotive while I'm eating. Let me show you guys what my teacher has me watching right now. And I'm pretty sure they're going to quiz me after that, see if I'm paying attention. So let me show y'all real quick what we're going to work with. There's the motor that I'm watching right now. I haven't started it just yet. So we are going to start it and hope for the best. See if I can put y'all can see. No, you can't. I already told you. Go back over there. I have to do this, please. I don't know what to do. See, I have the there and that, so I'm trying to.
My name is John Russell. I'm going to be your instructor throughout the course.
Okay.
I've got about 17 years of experience as an engineer. I started out when I was 16 and I trained as a marine engineer on large container ships. After that, I worked in the superyacht industry. And then later on in my career, I visited power stations and mines, chocolate factories, biodiesel plants, glass factories, and pretty much every other type of factory you can imagine. And slowly over time, I managed to build up my engineering experience.
So right now he's explaining his life experience and what he's done.
I'm going to try and roll some of that experience into this course. I'm not just going to teach you about engines and components, etc. I'm also going to tell you a few stories and pass on some of my own experiences so that you can learn from case studies. And a lot of the time you can learn from when things went wrong for me, which, if I'm honest, seemed to happen more than I would have liked.
Exactly.
How am I going to teach you? Well, I'm going to teach you by using interactive 3D models. Interactive 3D models allow me to rotate the engine like so, zoom in, zoom out, pan around.
Yep.
And because I'm using the Savvy interface, I can also show you annotations, and that will allow me.
And guys, this motor is not the motor that I'm going to be doing, guys, for my race car. It's a totally different motor. It's for like regular vehicles, like street vehicles. So this is giving me an idea of, how to do some motors. Like, for example, if I don't want to just do my race cars, I can do the cars that we have here at the house. So let's get back. Oh, sorry, I zoomed in. Let's get right back into this video that he's showing us.
To elaborate a little bit more on each of the components. For example, if I click on some of these dots, you can see it's a lubrication oil filter.
Yep.
Or a rocker arm.
Right here's the starter.
Or a starter motor solenoid, etc. So there's a lot of information on this engine. I will say at this point that if you go to the bonus section of this course, there are links to the interactive 3D models in that section. You can watch the videos, but if you interact with the 3D models, you really are going to cement everything that you're learning in this course.
Yes.
In addition to that, there are also bonus video lectures. And if you want to purchase more Savvy courses, then there are some discount course coupons there as well. I definitely recommend checking out the 3D models, because even the quiz feature, such as that on display now, click on the flywheel, will help you learn the names of the components.
I'm going to pause it real quick.
So there are quizzes inbuilt into, and we can see our score on the right side of the screen. I'm going to click here, and fortunately, now the 3D models, because even the quiz feature, such as that on display now, click on the flywheel, will help you learn.
Okay, right here in the middle, that is the, I just said it earlier. I'm sorry, I forgot. Fuck, how can I forget? It's because I'm live. That's why I forget. I'm sorry, guys. I totally forgot. If I can go back to it, I'll go back to it.
The names of the components. I'm going to click here. Unfortunately,
Dry shaft.
Correct. That would have been very embarrassing if I got that answer wrong. But we can see we get a little bit of information. Sometimes there'll be a picture here. Sometimes there'll be a hyperlink to another 3D model. And we can see our score on the right side of the screen. So there are quizzes inbuilt into the course, providing that you access the 3D models. In addition to using 3D models like that shown now, we're also going to use 3D animations. So as you can see now, we're looking at a 3D animation.
Yeah.
But the big difference here is that the animation is fully interactive. We can spin around, we can look at it from all angles, and we're really going to get a very deep understanding of what exactly is happening inside the engine and why it's occurring. So if you get the chance, check out the 3D models, check out the animations, interact with them. If you've got a virtual reality headset, then you can also load the models in virtual reality. And I'm pretty sure if you do that and you watch these video lessons, you are going to learn a lot in a short amount of time. But enough about that. Let's get on with this very exciting
questions coming up.
The internal combustion engine is one of the most significant machines ever invented by mankind. It has completely revolutionized our world. If you're looking at a car, a van, a train, a ship, most likely it's going to be moved around by a combustion engine.
Yeah.
The main design of a combustion engine has not changed significantly in the past 100 years. The combustion engines we're using today are only slightly more efficient than those of 100 years ago.
Yeah.
But why is that? What components are involved in order for us to make the combustion engine work? Why do we use different fuels like petrol, gasoline and diesel? And why do we use different stroke engines like the 2-stroke and the 4-stroke? Well, let's start going through the course and we're going to get some answers to these interesting questions.
Okay.
So welcome to this lesson concerning the exterior parts of an engine. Now, before we go too far into the course, I just want to clarify that when I talk about petrol, I'm actually referring to gasoline. And the reason I say petrol is purely because I'm from the UK.
No
A
wonder.
lot of people in the US and Canada will refer to it as gasoline, and that's fine. But just because I'm used to saying the word petrol, I'm going to keep referring to that throughout the course. And if you want, you can just change that in your own mind with the word gasoline.
Yeah.
When I mention system pressures and temperatures, I tend to work in bar for pressure and Celsius for temperature. Where possible, I'll try to put some conversions on the screen if I do mention the pressures and temperatures, because I know for some people they don't use metric units, they use imperial. So it's always nice to see a straight conversion rather than trying to have to work with units that you don't understand.
Exactly.
Now that's out of the way, let's have a look at our 3D engine. This particular engine is a 4-stroke diesel engine.
Yep.
Throughout the course, we're going to be talking about the diesel engine only, and then I'm going to clarify on the differences between a petrol and a diesel engine and give you some examples concerning petrol engines. The reason that I want to stick to only one type of fuel, at least initially when we start the course, is because if we start mixing engines and we start changing between diesel and petrol, etc., it gets quite confusing. So
you should start on regular gas.
And at the end, I'll tell you some of the telltale signs you can look for to identify a petrol engine, and also what some of the differences between petrol and diesel engines are. But let's stop there for a moment and let's go and have a look at some engine components so we can see exactly what's happening inside an engine.
Okay.
And then after that, we'll look at the 2-stroke engine and the 4-stroke engine. I'll explain to you exactly how they work. And by the time we've gone through that,
I mean, you got your pistons and your rings and
stuff.
stuff.
Look at this engine in a totally different light, and you'll understand exactly how and why
There's spark
the way
plugs.
it is.
And like I said before, guys, I don't know why this keeps popping up. Like I said before, they're showing me a bunch of videos. Right now, I'm at 38% completed for the videos. And that's what we're doing right now. Let me wrong.
Okay, so let's talk now about engine components.
Now we're talking about components, guys.
As you can see, there are quite a few engine components that make up an engine. We'll run through the main ones now, but we'll only cover the components that are common to both 4- and 2-stroke engines.
Yeah.
Let's start at the top.
Okay.
The most iconic symbol of an engine is the piston.
Yes, like I just said.
You can see the piston here.
Yep.
The piston itself travels up and down linearly within the cylinder liner.
Yep.
That is this section here. It's called the cylinder liner simply because it's cylinder shaped. The cylinder liner within a normal engine is slightly more complicated than that currently shown, and we can have a look at the true cylinder liner a little bit later. So we have a piston. The piston itself connects to a connecting rod.
Yes.
That is this item here. And the connecting rod connects to a crankshaft.
Yeah.
The crankshaft is this squiggly shape that we're looking at now.
Yep.
It runs from left to right. And as you can see here, from the right side to the left is a straight line, although the shaft itself is not straight at all. It actually travels up and down and up and down. The reason for this is that as the piston moves up and down, the crankshaft actually rotates. Don't worry too much about that right now. We're going to have a look at that animation in a moment. Those are the main items that are common to 4- and 2-stroke engines. What I'll do right now is quickly load up a model of a piston assembly, because I want to show you exactly this piece in a bit more detail so that you can see exactly how it connects to the crankshaft. So here we are. We're now looking at the piston and connecting rod again, but we've exploded it out into all of its components.
There's a
Play the animation, you can actually see it being assembled. And you can see there are quite a few parts involved.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into great detail concerning all of these parts, but we are going to look at the complete component as a whole and try to understand exactly what it does. So we can see we've got the piston top here. See, we've got the connecting rod. In fact, let's just explode it out so we can see everything. So here is our piston.
38%, guys.
Here is our connecting rod. We actually have some bearings.
Yes.
These are what they call plain metal bearings here.
Yeah.
And these bearings are the only thing separating the connecting rod from the crankshaft. The reason that we have the bearings is because when we clamp all this together, let me just reassemble it, it's going to clamp onto the crankshaft here, but we want the bearings to allow the crankshaft to rotate, but the connecting rod itself is only going to move up and down and around with the crankshaft. It's not going to rotate to the same degree that the crankshaft is going to rotate.
No.
And that's the purpose of having these plain metal bearings.
Yes.
So that is essentially piston assembly. Let's go back and have a look at the other model now, and we can watch the entire thing working, and then we'll have a look at the 2-stroke and the 4-stroke cycle.
Yeah.
So here we are. We're looking at our piston connecting rod, also known as a con rod, so don't be thrown off by that term, and our crankshaft. Let's have a look where it clamps onto the crankshaft. You see there's the bolt here, and there's another one on the other side. So we're going to tighten that up. It clamps onto the crankshaft. And then what's going to happen is as the piston moves up and down within the cylinder liner, the crankshaft itself is going to rotate.
Yes.
Let's see that happening because it's a lot easier to see it rather than explain it. And there we go. The piston travels down in a linear, that is to say a straight line, motion. It then travels up and the crankshaft continues to rotate. So we're changing the linear motion that's occurring in this area for rotary motion that's occurring where the crankshaft is. As you can see, there's also a lot of action that's occurring at the top of the cylinder liner. These items here are valves, and the valves will open and close
Yes.
at specific times
So if
during
they
the
don't,
combustion
something's wrong.
cycle. Now, I don't want to talk about those at the moment because the idea with this lesson was to simply discuss some of the main components that are common to both the two-stroke engine and the four-stroke engine, and even the steam engine.
I need the four-stroke.
Now, this setup of piston, conrod, crank.
Sorry, guys, I'm going to skip that part because it's almost over anyways. You're halfway through this model already. Well done.
So, here we are. Now we're looking
Careful,
at a two-stroke engine. Notice that we have the same parts as before. We've got our piston, connecting rod, and crankshaft.
Yep.
The area surrounding the crankshaft is known as the crankcase. So
Yep.
that is this section around here.
Yep.
You can see we've got some labels here. It makes it a little bit easier to understand what's going on.
Exactly.
We've got air and fuel. Fuel is usually indicated with an orange or amber colour.
Yep.
And for our purposes, we've used blue as
I'm at
air.
50%, guys.
The reason that we have half of the arrow blue and half of it orange is because we've actually got an air-fuel mixture.
Yep.
That means that the fuel is mixed in with the air. I'll explain to you how that works in a moment. And here we have exhaust gas indicated by a black arrow. So, what's
Remember,
happening?
He did say
Let's
this
play
is
the
like
animation
diesel.
a moment.
So,
Again, you see the piston moving
see how this
down.
goes up and down
We're
and
going to
this
see it moving
turns?
back up in a moment.
If that's not turning,
Crankshaft is rotating.
you got a problem.
And there are arrows popping up every now and again to show us what's occurring. This is a two-stroke engine.
Yep.
So let me walk you through exactly how it works. Two-stroke and four-stroke engines are internal
Totally different.
combustion engines. That is because combustion occurs internally inside the engine.
Exactly.
It actually occurs within the cylinder liner. That is this space here. And we also refer to it as the combustion space. In order to have combustion, we need three things:
Exactly.
oxygen, heat, and fuel.
Exactly.
These three things are used to make a fire triangle.
Yep.
But where are we going to get the oxygen from? Well, we
That's
get the
easy.
oxygen from outside the
What's
engine,
going up and down?
specifically just ambient air. We can draw the oxygen in with the air through this space here. This is known as our inlet port. We can see now that the air is rushing in, and we have some fuel that is mixed with the air. So we'll mix the fuel in with the air before it comes into the crankcase. Now, I know we said we're going to be talking about diesel engines early on in the course, but I want to mention here one important thing. The type of fuel used with two-stroke engines is almost always petrol. It's highly unlikely that you're ever going to encounter a two-stroke engine that uses diesel. The only time that I've ever seen this is on very large container ships, oil tankers, very large ships. They will use diesel-fired two-stroke engines. So if you want to take a very general approach, just say two-stroke engines are petrol-fired only.
Fuel.
So the fuel is mixed in with the air. It is drawn into the crankcase. It flows into the crankcase, and then it is going to sit within the crankcase space.
Yeah.
But we can see that there is another transfer port over here. So we have our inlet port. We can get the air and the fuel coming in, fill up the crankcase, and then it's going to travel out of our transfer port. It's going to come up here, and then it's coming into this section here. So it's coming into our cylinder liner. Notice, however, we're not going to get the air and fuel up into the combustion space because the piston is blocking that.
Turn my phone down.
So let's see what happens when the piston comes down. The piston comes down and it covers up the air and fuel inlet.
Yes.
So we're no longer going to get air and fuel coming into the crankcase. And when the piston travelled down, it's actually compressing the air-fuel mixture in the crankcase, and it's squeezing it out of the transfer ports.
Yes.
See, it's coming up here, and just round about here, it's starting to escape into the combustion space. So
This dude's actually boring.
As the piston continues downwards, it's going to
all
reach
this I already
the
know.
bottom of this. In the air, we have everything we need for combustion: oxygen, heat. So now we're looking at a 4-stroke combustion engine. And as you can see, there are more parts associated with this type of engine than for the 2-stroke engine.
Okay, I'm sorry, but I already know that. You're basically telling me some stuff that I already know. And I came on here to learn new stuff. Not stuff I already know.
So let's now have a look at some of the differences between a petrol engine and a diesel engine. Now I've loaded up another...
I don't care about diesel. Let's check this out.
So welcome to the first lesson in what I call life support systems. These are the systems that an engine needs in order to survive. Now, there are 6 main systems that you like to encounter when you're looking at internal combustion engines. These are oil, fuel, water, air, exhaust, and the electrical system. Some engines have more than 6 systems, and some engines have less. Lubrication oil, fuel, air, and exhaust. Those systems are always going to be present to some degree.
Excuse me.
Sometimes for very small engines, you'll actually mix lubrication oil in with the fuel itself, although that is only for very small 2-stroke engines. So let's look at the lubrication oil system first, because arguably it's the most important system in the engine. I've loaded this 3D model up. It actually shows the lubrication oil system, and it's highlighted with these orange colours.
Okay, this I already know, because I tore a motor apart already. I put it together.
Okay, for the fuel system itself, there's not so much that I can show you. Normally you'll have a fuel pump, you'll have some...
Yes, I have a fuel pump. What is this?
Okay, so to look at the air system, what I actually want to do is give you a bit of a case study and an example. Really speaking...
But I don't have this in race cars, so I don't need that. Three, two, one.
Welcome to the final lesson of this course.
Finally.
Now, at the start of the course, I said to you we were going to have a look at the exterior of an engine and go through and start dissecting it and trying to figure out what each of the parts are. Now, I want to give you an example. We know that air has to be drawn into the engine for combustion.
Okay, yeah.
If we look around here, do you recognise this item? This item here is a turbocharger that we saw a little bit earlier on in the course. So what I'm wondering now is which side is for air and which side is for exhaust gas. Now we know air gets sucked into the middle, so it goes through this hole here, or on the opposite side. You can't see the turbine and the compressor wheel because this is a simplified model. But let's have a look. If we sucked air in here, then it would go out and it would be discharged through this pipe, combustion space, because the rocker arms are housed inside here. So try to visualize that in your mind. The rocker arms and the tops of the valves are inside each of these black boxes.
Yes.
Which means the combustion space is just below, which means the piston, top dead center is probably going to be about here, and bottom dead center maybe here, moving up and down, up and down. But is this for exhaust or is it for air? Well, it's most likely not for air. Why do I say that? Because we're not cooling the air down after it left the turbocharger. You can see it comes out here, along there, straight to the combustion space. So I would argue this is an exhaust gas manifold.
Yes.
We go along over here. See, okay, let's imagine we're sucking air in through this side. It has more of a snail-like shape. Snail.
I think I clicked the wrong course because this is not what I wanted. You need to score 80% or more to pass. Okay, decrease how panels. Let's start. This is a crankshaft. Camshaft, I'm sorry. I don't know why I said crankshaft. I got that wrong. See, what I'm doing, guys, is I'm not focusing. This is a flywheel. I know that for a fact. Yes! Got it right. Let me show you what it's showing me. The other one I would have got right if I would have paid attention to the word. An engine stroke is measured from the blank. Choose one. It's top dead center. It has to be top dead center. I was right. Look, guys. Yay. So far, I only got one question wrong, and that was totally my fault. Put these companion cycle stage in the correct order, arriving the following in the correct. Drag the answer into the correct square. What correct square? Oh, I see. Okay. Let's see. I could be this wrong. I only got one right out of this one. I think this is the one I skipped, guys. Okay, let's see. Lubrication oil has the following purpose of what? Lubrication, hello. It says preheat, cools, companions, or lubrication. Choose all of the applied. I think it's just lubrication, but I could be wrong. Oh, it says choose two. Okay, I think I'd be wrong. I got one question right, the other one wrong. It's lubrication for one, and it's cools. I put preheat. Dumbass. Engine cooling water is also known as what? Choose one. I think I skipped this one too. I don't even know. Engine cooling water? Let's just try one. Black smoke in the engine indicates that the engine is burning what? Too much oil. No, fuel. Let me see. I think it's oil. It could be fuel. I'm just going to try what I think it is. It was fuel. Okay, indicate this. Okay, this right here is a. Let's see. Let me show y'all. What? You didn't drop it. You were pouring it. I heard you. Engine cycler vial. It's a valve. True or false? A four-stroke engine is more effective than a two. I think it's true. Yep, that was right. Okay. True or false? Diesel engine requires spark plugs. Which engine didn't? Petrol engine do not. I think that's false. I was right. Okay, let's see. These are pistons or bearings. Fuck, I forgot. Pistons. They have to be no bearings. I forgot. Why me? I'm gonna do pistons. Wow. True or false? Is used to charge the engine battery. Alternator is used to charge the engine battery and provide power to. That is true. I got it right. True or false? Turbocharged can be used on both petrol and fuel. I think it can. I was right. Maybe I should have actually watched these videos. Oh, I skipped one, I think. I know what these are. These are bearings. I know that for a fact. Yep. Let me show you what I'm looking at. Next question. There's 20 questions, guys, and I'm already at question 14. True or false? Blue smoke and the exhaust indicate that the engine is burning lubrication oil. I think that's a no. Oh, I was wrong. That's true. True or false? Starting motor engines with the flywheel when the engine starts and stays engaged with the flywheel when the engine is. I think that's true. What? False? It's okay. True or false? A two-stroke engine requires one fuel reservoir of the crankshaft pure. I'm gonna say true. I was right on that one. Okay. By 16. Here comes 17. White smoke and the exhaust indicates blank. Too much air and not enough fuel used for component. Too little air and too much fuel. Water in the. I think it's water. I was wrong. I was gonna pick this one, but I thought I was gonna be wrong. It's too much air and not enough fuel, which I should have known that because we just did that the other day. This is the air system. I heard him say something about the air system. But is it the regular air or is it air and exhaust? Air and exhaust. Which of these is not a main engine? Crankshaft. Ooh. Okay. This engine indicates. Okay. Identify this. Rocker arms, I was right. Crankshaft, that's right. I already got this one. This is a flywheel. True or false? A four-stroke engine is more effective than. True. True. Engine. Hello, guys. I am doing. I had just finished watching my videos, and now I'm doing the test to see if I can pass the test. Engine cooling water is also known as blank. Jacket water. I got it right. Okay. Okay. An engine stroke is measured from the blank. Choose one. Top dead center, obviously. True or false? I think this was yes. Yep. Starting motor engine with a flywheel. It could be wrong. Wait. I didn't even push submit. Oh, that one was false. It's okay. Which of these are staged for all cycles? Choose 4. Compression. Idle. I got them right. I forgot to pick the 4th one, but I got 3 right. I forgot I said pick 4 and I picked 3. These two look the same, so I picked the wrong one. I don't know why that keeps doing that. Which of the following response are true? Petrol engine. I'm just gonna pick. Okay, I know this was it. I don't like that. I know it's lubrication and cools. Oh, this is the fucking. Oh. How are you? Why did I push the wrong one? I pushed the wrong freaking answer on that one, and I knew that was the answer. Okay, so this is this. This can be here. This can be here. What is... Got him right. Engine cooling is also known as this is a 4. I'm so tired right now. It's okay. I got a few wrong, so I got 65%. It's okay. I can do better, but because for one, I'm tired because I didn't go to bed till like 3 this morning. I was watching a wrestling movie on Netflix. See, that's the one that accidentally clicked wrong. I'm sorry. I'm gonna exit out of there. Exit out there. So I guess that's enough for today's lesson. My neck is not okay right now. Okay, so I guess that's it for today. So that's all for today. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, so you never miss post every time I post. And sorry if this video is kind of boring, guys, but I was trying to learn something totally different than what they were showing me. So, but anyways, see you on this video, and hopefully the next video will be better than this video. Bye, guys.